We're back to discuss Split, and on this show, I take my friends, we go see a movie, we review it, we discuss it. This is the discussion video. If you saw our review, we were split on this movie. I'm going to run that joke right into the ground. So, yeah. Starting from the ending, because we're all just sort of like
with the what?
agape from the ending.
Big fat eye roll is what I got.
Yeah, I really did not care for them pulling Bruce Willis's character from Unbreakable into this. I think that kind of knocks the movie down a peg in my book. I think it was...
Did it feel totally shoehorned in?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. That's why I said it's just a throwaway. I'd almost rather just pretend it didn't even happen.
I mean, it happens after they show the title and, like, the movie's over.
Yeah.
There's just this extra scene. It's like a post-credits Marvel scene that he's in. And it's just like, no, I don't want to see another Unbreakable movie. It's been 15 years. I don't care anymore about that. You had this fairly good movie that was worth talking about up until this point, and why? So the actual ending of the movie, the like proper ending of the movie, I thought was good. I would have been really happy if they had left it more ambiguous, like he's just still out there and she survived, but it looks like she was going to finally stand up and say something about what her uncle was doing.
Yeah, I was more interested.
I thought that was a good ending. Weakest scene in the entire movie is the scene that Shyamalan's in.
Yes.
No.
Why was it even there except to get him in there?
Yeah, right. Security
And
footage of trash cans?
it wasn't his fault. It wasn't necessarily him that was the problem. It was his direction of the psychiatrist in that scene was terrible. She spoke like a human does not speak in that scene. She was just like the dirtiest sock, the way that came the what's not, that Dave, I knew it. What did you think? And then turn up the volume. What's on the other video now? Hello. And he was like, yeah, I know. And you're like, why is she talking like that? That doesn't, like, it didn't fit with the character. She said like a paragraph of text in like half the time she would have said it in any other scene in the movie. So it just came across as really weird. It's like, hey, there's Shyamalan and there's a woman reading a cue card.
Wow.
That's no good.
Yeah, well, we're in full spoiler territory right now. So,
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I'm torn between the idea if he's actually like got superpowers because the mind is more powerful than the body, or
He has the superpowers.
he has the superpowers.
Yeah, and I can tell you why, but go ahead.
Okay, I was kind of just on the level of, you know what, the bigger twist would have been if he would have been shot dead by a shotgun blast. Instead, they gave him the superpowers and opened the doors for the Shyamalan-verse.
I was kind of expecting her to say his name one more time and then blow him away with the last shotgun shot. Like, now he's not human, and that was going to be how the twist was going to go. And they just didn't do it. I was really shocked that wasn't what they thought to do.
Yeah.
But
I actually thought at the end of the day it was going to be actually about her. There was so much focus was put on her. I thought this was really her therapy, and like he was actually one of her identities.
Well, they focused on her so that her sudden ability to survive him wasn't so
out of the blue.
out of place.
Yeah.
So that was really done well. They also built up the fact that the mind can control the body in this universe.
yeah.
Really well. They established that. They don't necessarily say that it's fact. They just say that it's a theory, and then he proves the theory. Like he has those weird like purple veins or whatever that come out when he becomes
Supervillain veins.
when he turns into
SVVs.
Bane or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, and the cheapest, easiest way that I can explain that he really does have the powers is that Bruce Willis is in the movie.
Yes,
And Bruce Willis has powers.
and Bruce Willis has powers. That's true. I also didn't know that cutting was a superhero power, but evidently it is.
Well, no, it's so he
She survived.
he recognizes that she's not.
She's broken. And
Yeah.
Yeah, that she's grown up through
abuse. Yeah.
He wanted spoiled brats, and she obviously wasn't one.
Right.
They established that pretty well.
He wanted pure identities, which I think. So, the Patricia personality mentions that next time they want to get 10 to 12, and it sounds like the Beast's purpose is to absorb identities. So I feel like that's what he was after. That's what the girls were for. Was for him to absorb new identities, and so he wanted non-broken ones so that they were.
That would actually kind
Not
of be
messed up.
interesting to keep following in that case, if that actually happens for him.
Yeah.
If we have to have McAvoy going through and being like taking on the identities of people and having to act that role out right after he's like basically killed them.
Right.
Or maybe find out that the Beast was there all along, and that's why he's got so many identities to begin with. That would have been an interesting plot twist.
Well, yeah. I mean, and they can always make the prequel that explains all of that.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it could be the part where he kills his mother and just
Yeah,
So if
exactly.
Midnight's watching this, you got ideas
it's
for him.
you merge Psycho and split.
It's not quite
And-
stupid enough.
Right.
We have to stupid it up a little bit for him, but I think we're getting there. Yeah, I mean, we're making fun of it. It is a solid movie. It's not like it's not a worse movie than The Visit. I think it's a little bit better than The Visit was.
Considering most of it takes place in 2 rooms, kind of. It's pretty well put together,
Yeah, I mean it's a story and dialogue, and that's
But it
pretty,
still feels tense. It still feels like there's a lot going on.
which is, I mean, that's where I think his stuff works the best. I think when he works small, it works better than when he's trying to do a huge, The Happening or something along those lines.
I'll
If
probably,
he tries to do a Zemeckis film, it just doesn't work.
I'll probably go back and watch it and like it a lot more the second time. But my first impression is it's a movie that's really hard to take very seriously, and it's got so many serious
Oh
topics
yeah,
in there.
I wanted
It's
to come
just-
back to that. So, I think you will find this on your second viewing as well, because this is what I was getting from it. It wasn't that the tone was kind of shifting back and forth, and it didn't really understand where it was going. I think they were trying to find a balance between having it be super suspenseful and terrifying, and having like moments of relief for the audience, having something to relieve it.
Could be.
The problem with it is that both sides, the terrifying side and the release side of it, are both James McAvoy's responsibility. And so you never trust him either way. So you never really get the relief. Like, there's things in the movie that he does that are funny. And the audience, doesn't quite... he needed to go... they needed to have a whole scene where he was ridiculous for the audience to, actually let their guard down a little bit and relax. But instead, it felt like... It felt like we were being talked down to a bit. It felt like the movie was saying, this is the part where you laugh. And then we'll get back to
Yeah.
the other thing. And it's just because it's all within that one actor, it's really hard to pull off that, I can't think of very many actors that could do it. Like Jim Carrey, perhaps, could pull off, making you laugh, even though this character is absolutely terrifying.
It's fair. I find it interesting we've had a lot of movies kind of in this vein of the kidnapping in the house kind of situation as of late.
They're super cheap to make. That's why.
We've got Cloverfield Lane. We've got what was the one with the blind guy?
That was recent.
Don't breathe.
Don't Breathe.
Green
Green Room is kind of the same deal. Yeah.
Yeah.
So is this just a popular genre right now? Just because?
Yeah, closed. I mean, the smaller your set is and the smaller your cast is, the cheaper your movie is.
So
Like,
you
Don't
only-
Breathe has 4 people in it.
Right. So you can only make a big movie if you're making a Marvel movie right now.
Well, and I mean, but that's Shyamalan's made big movies, and he's made big movies with big budgets, and they suck.
Yeah.
He made The Last Airbender,
Yeah.
and that's a huge movie, and
And that one flopped pretty hard, didn't it?
yeah,
Financially too. Normally
in every way it flopped.
his things don't make their money back, I thought.
Well, that's why he's gone back to making smaller movies.
Less
He made
risk.
The Visit did. I mean, The Visit did fine, but it was a tiny,
Yeah.
it's like a
Mostly all in the
$25
house.
million budget or something like
Well,
that.
to be
So-
fair, his first couple were really pretty small too.
Yeah.
I mean, they had big names in them, but
right.
beyond that, it was really dialed back on the special effects, that kind of thing.
But that's the trick. I mean, like Green Room is not like a set your world on fire story, but it has a fairly good. It has Patrick Stewart in it, and it has like enough to pull you along. And and that's kind of true of horror films in general. They're inexpensive to make, and that's why a lot of them get made. And that's why a lot of really bad ones get made because they don't cost a lot, and they only need to make money on their opening weekend before word of mouth, and then they're in the clear. So
I mean, this was definitely better than a bad horror movie. It was quality made, and it was genuinely scary at spots, but
yeah,
Sure.
it just kind of sat funny.
yeah, I agree, and I think like you said, the moments of levity don't necessarily work because you're worried about the safety of the people in the room. But it could be funnier on your second viewing where you're really paying more attention to McAvoy's performance. And it's also something where it's just not I don't know, like
I'll tell you something. Going in, like not knowing what the tone of the movie was going to be, I did not think that most of the girls would get eaten to death.
Okay, yeah,
retrospect.
actually being
Of course,
physically
they don't
eaten
show
is-
us that, but it's like it was kind of leading up to something terrible going to happen.
what's great
and,
about
and
it?
it does happen, but we don't see it, so it just kind of
Which is so great because what's the cheapest, easiest thing they could have done? They could have stretched out, the beast coming for both of the girls,
Yeah.
the girl screaming, and
yeah, on
You
and
know,
on.
Right, they're already
think about
eaten
this,
Another-
do
it's
this.
already done.
Yeah,
You show up and it's already
And-
happened, which is a very
I was just surprised.
that's a very Tarantino style of reveal. It's the thing that you're worried about the most doesn't happen, and then something does happen that you weren't even thinking about, and it's so much worse than that. So, well, that's Split. If you like the way we do these, please like the video, subscribe, check out all the written and video reviews at dalemaxfield.com, and thanks for watching.